So Kaundinya is a very central to the legends of Southeast Asian countries. Many of the royal lineages of Southeast Asia draw their lineage back to this marriage. And so we have named the ship after Kaundinya.
So that's in a way reliving India's maritime history in some sense. Sanjeev, because it's a young man's job, I see there are some photographs of a young man on a boat here. So can you further, you've been busy with this project also over the last 1 year.
Yes.
So maybe you can tell us what these photographs are, and maybe I'm going to then come to you on what is the economic significance of a project like this. So let's go.
So this project relates to a wooden ship that I have been trying to build for many years. So what this is the following. So as many of you already must have heard over the last few days, we have one of the oldest maritime cultures in the world, going back to the Bronze Age. So in the Harappan times, 4,000-5,000 years ago, Indian mariners used to sail to the Middle East and so on. So that's now well documented, but the question that I raised in one of my books, Ocean of Churn, about a decade ago, is what were the kinds of ships that the Indians were using to sail these oceans, and sailing, of course, in Harappan times to Middle East, but then over the following millennia to Southeast Asia, to Korea, Japan, and so on. I mean, there's a huge amount of Indian influence all over the Indian Ocean world and beyond. But what were the ships they used? So I began to research the kinds of ships they used, and then I began to collect material. And so what you have here is a replica or a recreation of a ship from around about 4th century AD, for about 1600 years ago. This is based on Satvahana coins. There's a painting in Ajanta which is based on, there are some texts like Yukti Kalpataru and so on and so forth. And of course there are records of foreign travelers who came to India and left descriptions of these ships. So triangulating all of this, I have built this ship. It has nothing modern in it except some safety equipment. So it's, first of all, has no nails. It's completely stitched together, literally planks and coir rope. It does not have a rudder, which rudders had not been invented at that time. So as you will see in the photographs, it's got a steering oar. It doesn't have lateen sails, those triangular sails that can sail at an angle to the wind. It has got square sails, which means that you can only sail with the wind, and so on and so forth. So it has got all these archaic design elements. And we started building it about 18 months ago, based on a design that I put together along with a naval architect. And Ministry of Culture kindly provided us with support. Of course, the Honorable Prime Minister was very supportive of this project. So here is the ship. This is what it looks like. It's right now in Karwar, in the naval base, because it's actually a Navy ship. It's called INSV Condinia. INSV Condinia.
And you will tell us a bit about that name.
Yeah, so basically the name Kaundinya is derived from the name of the earliest Indian mariner that we know of by name. So Kaundinya was an Indian merchant who was sailing along the coast of Southeast Asia, in Mekong Delta in particular, what is now South Vietnam, Cambodia, that area. And he was attacked by a group of locals, and he was surrounded. He was in a bad situation, and maybe there were pirates or whatever. Luckily for him, the local tribe was led by a beautiful princess called Soma, who saw him and fell in love and proposed marriage. Now, I'm assuming he didn't have too much choice in the matter, but anyway, he did marry her, and they set up the first Hindu kingdom of Southeast Asia called Funan about roughly 2,000 years ago. So Kaundinya is a very central to the legends of Southeast Asian countries. Many of the royal lineages of Southeast Asia draw their lineage back to this marriage. And so we have named the ship after Kaundinya.
So that's in a way reliving India's maritime history in some sense, or the folk tales and the fables around our journeys.
Absolutely. So the idea here is that, as you can see from the photographs, it's in the water now. I literally have come from Karwar to Mumbai.
You were
for
training
this.
right now, right?
I was training for about 9 days on board because basically we need to figure out how to sail it. Remember, there's no living person who knows how to sail these ships. So we had to learn how it works. So for example, if you hit a big wave, the hull caves in because it's stitched together. It's not nailed, right? So it has all kinds of strange characteristics which we had to figure out. But the good news is that the ship has behaved quite well, even in heavy seas. And the idea now is to sail it to Oman in winter.
And how long will that take?
Depending on wind, 2 to 3 weeks.
It's a 2 to 3 week sail.
Yes, so we are expecting to go in December from Porbandar to Muscat.
And that is the traditional route.
That is the traditional route, exactly.
Now, what about the southeast?
So the idea is once we have tested this route out, which is somewhat easier, the Arabian Sea is a little bit easier to navigate than the
Bay of Bengal.
Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal has much more cyclones and it's a much rougher body of water. So assuming that all goes well and we reach safely to Muscat, etc., we'll bring the ship back, we'll sail it back to Karwar, and next year we will take it to Odisha or ancient Kalinga, and we will attempt to recreate a very famous ancient route called Bali Jatra, which is to sail it from Kalinga all the way to the island of Bali in Indonesia. Now that is a 3-month voyage, so it is not an easy voyage to do. But of course, with the Oman expedition, hopefully we'll have gained enough experience to be able to attempt a more ambitious one next year.
And how much of these journeys are you going to be personally doing?
Well, the first journey I intend to do myself. I think my boss will give 2 weeks off or 3 weeks off. But I think 3 months may be a bit of a stretch. But as I said, since a random economist has designed the ship, I have to be on the ship to have some skin in the game. Expecting 15 sailors to sail a ship by a complete novice ship designer may be unfair. So the best way to have skin in the game is to be on it.
So this is actually a personal commitment to the integrity of the project.
Absolutely, yes. Remember, because otherwise nobody knows how to sail these ships. So what is the sanctity of this design?
So you are giving a new meaning to the word. We are all in it together.